Commander. My name's Sailor Gun. You're watching Top Deck Productions. We're in the third round of our Wednesday standard tournament here at GameSwap Mason. On the left, Luke is playing the mono red deck, and Erik is playing Esper Hero, which supposedly has a decent matchup here. From what I've heard around the way, I would think that Goblin Chain Whirler is a pretty decent one in this matchup, but
You would think wrong.
I'm wrong.
Dead wrong.
Joining me to tell me when I'm being an idiot is John Douglas, my illustrious co-host. He's handsome. He's affable.
Affable. I'm not very affable, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I was being generous.
Quite generous. All right. So Chain Whirler is good if they have like a hero hand that goes all in on that. But the strength of this Esper hero deck, especially against mono red, is they have so many different card advantage spells that just randomly gain them life.
Okay. All right. So this is a nice one for Luke. He's got 2 mountains. He's got I at least saw Shock and light up the stage.
Oh no!
Which
Erik has a card that's particularly good against Luke here, in Oath of Kaya.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
So not only does it basically just Lightning Helix one of his guys. There we go, the old Shock light up the stage combo. It also makes it so that whenever Luke tries to attack any of Erik's planeswalkers, that's perfect.
Yeah, if I could avoid drawing 2 lands,
okay,
that's well worth the card to me.
Running out the hero here. Typically in this matchup, you wouldn't run out the hero until you had a way to trigger it. But running it out on turn 2 means you want it to eat a removal spell, so it's not coming at the face.
So I think Luke's gonna let him here. Well, you gotta be wary of Thought Erasure. It doesn't have any blue sources yet, but it's a possibility. There's another isolated chapel, so it's really clogging him on those.
Here's the Chain Whirler. I assume that's what Erik was waiting on to fire off this Oath of Kaya.
Yeah, and we're seeing why the red deck is not quite as good as it once was. The threats are a little more easily handled. There's some incidental life gain going on in the world.
A lot of it. Erik, even on 3 mana, missing...
Sometimes you draw 6 mountains.
Yeah, missing his most important color, I would think.
Yep.
Is still in this. Oh, there it is.
There he is, down to
14.
So the dice at the top are giving us life totals here.
What's up, Cat and Abyss? So we're going to plus. We're going to ping you for 1, gain a life.
So the Oath of Kaya won't kill the attacker, but it
might as well.
Might as well. So here's, okay, so what's going to happen here is it's going to attack for 2, and then Luke's going to unload these on Soren.
Yeah.
There's a...
That's fine. J Freak, what's up?
Thanks for the follow.
All right, another big format of play.
What is this?
The Elite Guard Mage. It's a 2/3. It's a 2/3 flyer for 2 of blue and a white. Draw a card, gain 3 life.
This guy's a limited all-star.
Yeah. Just gain all the life.
Yeah, that's not going to work for Luke.
Draw all the cards.
Yeah, he's still got a billion cards in hand. He's at 18 life.
He's just putting Shocks into play untapped against the red deck.
No big deal.
No biggie. Oh, here's a Liliana, and
Yeah,
that'll earn the
we've
scoop.
seen it enough. Liliana, typical main deck card.
Um,
I've seen a list with the guard mage, but the lists I've seen of this Esper Hero deck have the 6 Teferis and 2 Sorens, never the Liliana.
so the Planeswalker count is the most fluid. So typically, you have your 4 heroes, you have your 4 Thief of Sanities, then you have between 4 and 8 other creatures, but those are like flexible, whether you're going to run Basilica Bell Haunts, you're going to run the Elite Guard Mages, you could run Deputy of Detentions. I looked at Erik's list before the tournament, and he's running like a combination of all 3, which is a little unusual, but wanted to cover all of his bases. You could also run Hostage Taker in there, although I don't think that's in a great position right now. And then for the Planeswalkers, you're going to run Teferis, little Teferis at least 3 to 4. Big Teferis 2 to 3. And then some number of Sorens, some number of Lilianas, some number of Ugins. Like anything after that is gravy. You don't want to run more than 10 Planeswalkers, I think.
Okay.
But 10 is not unheard of. So regarding this deck in particular, I think might have been last week or maybe earlier this week. I'm not sure. Time is a mystery to me. Jerry T recommended playing the 3/3 split of Teferis and then all 4 Sorens. Just because it's a house against the mirror, obviously, and this deck is just pretty ubiquitous online at the moment.
Right. So yeah, you want to, when you're playing as many matches as you can online, it behooves you to kind of skew your deck to the metagame, because you can change it day to day.
Yeah.
Whereas
absolutely.
if I'm coming here on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and I'm playing 4 matches, I don't want to take a guess and like skew my deck way away from it.
Right.
But when I'm online, I can play 20 matches a night maybe if I'm really dedicated.
It's a lot of Magic.
It's a lot of Magic. I mean, back in my day,
Back in the heyday?
back in the heyday, we used to run, 3 or 4 drafts a night.
Sure.
I remember I got my first like real job, like making more money than I needed to pay my bills, and I was just like, oh, I can play Magic Online now. And Magic Online probably got about $400 or $500 a month from me for about 6 months. That wasn't a good choice. It was a choice though.
It was definitely a choice. So what does Luke have to combat this Esper Hero deck?
So, I didn't see Luke's list exactly. I'm trying to think of what was in my sideboard. I think in this deck you have to, the reason, if you look at the top 8 lists that are happening right now, Risk Factor is a much bigger card than Experimental Frenzy. And it's because decks like this, because you're so 1-for-1, Experimental Frenzy doesn't actually yield you that much card advantage, because you saw how far ahead of you Erik got once he got rolling. So even if you're gonna cast 3 spells a turn, if you were 4 cards behind, you're gonna brick eventually. Whereas Risk Factor lets you play a more direct to their face game, kind of ignore what they're doing. I want.
Tell me what you want.
Steamkins, for
Yes,
sure.
Steamkins are great.
Steamkins are great. I also, I do not want Fanatical Firebrand. That's not a card I'm interested in.
All right.
So I want more direct damage, Wizards, Lightnings.
Where are we at on Tybalt?
Tybalt's probably a card you could bring in. Like the Devils Tybalt makes can block a 2/2 and trade with it. So that's not incidental. And then Tybalt's passive ability, obviously very good. So that's worthwhile. I'm probably bringing in lava coils here as well.
All right. So if you are playing mono red and you're planning on running into this metagame, which card advantage engine of choice are you playing? Are you on Chandra's? Are you on Experimental Frenzies?
I probably would play 3 risk factor 2 Chandra
Okay.
if I'm going to play mono red. I think Chandra's really good. It's very hard to effectively attack it. So like they kind of just have to concede to the fact that you're going to he's put Rekindling Phoenix in from the board. Let's see how this plays out for him. This is a card I didn't think of immediately, but it's a card that could be very effective for Luke here.
Yeah, absolutely.
If he can cast it. Here's Mortify. Chooses the correct target. I ain't mad about it.
Ain't even mad about it. What's up, tiny little dragon?
Oh, it's a tiny little dragon. What color are you?
Wow. 2019, we can't talk like that anymore, man.
No, so I'm watching Game of Thrones and the dragons are like, they're like teenagers. Oh, you're blue and yellow? Nice. Is there any like green in the middle or like blue with like the yellow belly?
We've got a deputy here. Oh no, we're going Basilica Bellhaunt.
Basilica Bellhaunt coming in.
Taking out the 5th land. It's going to really stop up things on the ground, but we can still get in with this Phoenix.
What's his power toughness?
It's a biggin. We're on a 3/4. Yeah, Arena's a great place to learn how to play the game.
Yeah, Arena's great. It's very cost effective.
It's pretty cost effective.
I was super impressed with your deep run on Arena.
There's the Tybalt.
Here's the Tybalt. He's going to make the Devil.
This is going to prevent Erik from gaining life, which is a huge portion of his edge against.
All right, so we've got a card in hand. Is this a Skewer the Critics?
I believe it's a Skewer.
I don't think I've ever cast a Basilica Bellhaunt. What's his power and toughness?
3/4.
It's a 3/4. Okay, so he could have gotten the Skewer and the Firebrand together.
We're Elder Spelling the Tybalt. Whoa.
What the hell?
Deputy the Phoenix. We just have all the answers.
This is fine. This is fine.
This is fine.
No, fine. Deputy my Phoenix. I've got a Firebrand, and I can Skewer your Deputy, and I just drew a light up the stage.
Attack with.
What's the little dragon play on Arena? All right, there's a light up the stage. We're gonna cast one of these guys to ya, and then I would 100% Skewer this Deputy.
Yeah.
Please shoot the Deputy.
Get him.
Like, what's the reason not to?
I don't know what Eric's at, but going to the dome is a consideration as well.
Sure. Oh, Nicole Bolas. So he can play with his dragon. Listen. Play the good ones. Don't play the bad ones. And this Phoenix is untapped.
Phoenix is untapped, and here's a Sorin, which is going to get back the Deputy. Yowzers.
So the
It's some
Bellon
math
has
here.
lifelink because of the Sorin.
All right, so we're going to run out. Get the Sorin. Okay.
I would have just attacked with the Devil.
You would have gained a life.
And then the Devil targets the Sorin.
Yeah, it's a great thing about Arena is you don't have to remember all of your triggers. You don't have to worry about anybody cheating.
Yeah, that's true. So we're down to... Eric's down to a card.
2 cards.
2 cards. One of them's a land.
One of them's going to draw him another card and gain him a bunch of life.
All right, well. There we are.
Up to 10.
Here's his land for the turn. And here is
A Phoenix.
replacement Phoenix.
All right. Eric's got a couple draws here to answer this Phoenix.
Yep. What do we got here? Is this another...
It's a Tyrant Scorn.
Okay.
So it doesn't answer the Phoenix cleanly,
Yeah,
but in combination with another spell, it could get rid of it permanently.
yeah, so I think he sideboarded Thought Erasures out,
And that's fine.
and that would be the other spell that he would want there. Oh, here we go.
Oh, no, so any removal spell will get rid of it too.
So I'm attacking with this Phoenix.
Yeah. Are you going to Lightning Strike the guy first?
No. I'm going to let him think that like he just has to contend with this one Phoenix. I might attack with everything. So one of your... So your Devil gets in, so you get 5, you take him to 5, and you have Lightning Strike in hand? Okay. Yeah, so Lightning Strike, you want to sandbag it here. You don't know what he has, but Lightning Striking the Deputy at the end of his turn it creates a situation where you can surprise the damage. There we go. I think he said go.
Surprise!
Yeah, you can totally...
Oh, I think you can Tyrant Scorn his own deputy to get back the deputy, but then he just dies.
Right, yeah, this is the end of his turn, so he can't... Yeah, I don't think he's got a good out here.
You can just bounce one of the Phoenixes. It's not the worst. But then you're just still dead here. Yeah, life point dice are off the top of the screen. Luke's at 20. Eric's at 10. Which is not enough to survive an all-out attack here. So you can block one creature. Blocks a 2/2. Oh, it's a Mortify.
Okay.
That's good. Okay.
4 plus
So he's going to
3
take
is
7 and go to 3.
That guy dies. And then Luke's token has to survive.
So he drew a Teferi.
So you could Teferi the Phoenix, right?
Now we're going to Deputy the Phoenix and Teferi the token. That's what we can do.
Oh, jeez.
Drew a Thief of Sanity.
Oh, man.
So
I would attack with the Devil 100% right here.
at this point, Luke just needs to survive until he can resolve this Lightning Strike. Oh, Chandra's a good one here.
Yeah, there we go. Here's Chandra. He's got 2 mana up, so he can plus the Chandra.
Well, that's all we can do is plus the Chandra.
Well, no, but the 2 mana up means that he can... Oh, we got Lava Coil.
All right, so Lava Coil the Deputy.
Yep. Is he considering the Bell Haunt? So let's think about that here for a second. If he Lava Coils the Bell Haunt to kill it, and then attacks with the Pyromancer and the Devil...
He can block the Pyromancer with the Deputy and then just take the 1.
Okay.
Here's a big Teferi. I'm going to tuck this Chandra.
That's okay.
I ain't mad.
We got our use out of it. I mean, Phoenix is on the board. That's the thing we want to have happen.
Phoenix on the Thief.
Yep. See, that I would have attacked with everybody again there. Because he's forced to block with the Bell Haunt and take the 1. You could have taken down the big Teferi, had your little guys.
That'll do it. The old Game 2 handshake. So Luke climbs back into that one. He only needed a burn spell off the top. Did it with a Chandra and a Lava Coil. How do you feel about Lava Coil in this matchup?
I think it's probably necessary. So as we saw there, Luke's plan is, oh, geez. See, I don't agree with his outs here.
What are his outs?
He took out Steamkin and Shock.
Okay.
So I like Chandra.
Yeah, Chandra's sweet.
I like taking out the get 2 Lava Runners. I think that's good because they become blocked very quickly in this matchup. But there's so many of Erik's cards that are easily cleaned up with Lightning Strike, Skewer, and Wizard's Lighting.
Right.
That adding Lava Coil just lets you turn those spells I just mentioned into targeting his face.
Right, I think I want to send everything at the face.
Come back and visit his tiny little dragon. It was nice to see you.
So the cards that I want out are Chain Whirlers.
Yep.
That's the big one. I can't imagine having a ton of ins here.
Yeah, I could see Lava Coil as an in. I mean, Bell Haunt's big. It's annoying.
I'm not excited about it. Tybalt could come in. If I've got like an extra draw engine card in the board, that could come in. That's all I really want.
Sure.
But you're the red player.
Yeah, I don't know what his engine is, whether he's playing like I've seen every configuration you can come up with between Risk Factor, Experimental Frenzy, and Chandra. Like I've seen main decks that have none of the above, and all of those are in the sideboard. Like 3 Risk Factor, 2 Experimental Frenzy, 2 Chandra in the sideboard, and they bring in like a combination of whatever is going to be effective.
Interesting.
You want Experimental Frenzy against the control decks. You want Chandra against these mid-range decks, and you want Risk Factor against the combo decks.
Okay, I can see that.
And so here, I don't know, like, I like Chandra, and I like Lava Coil, so that should be 5 slots. And so, since I'm bringing in Chandra, I want to take out Chain Whirler.
You don't like Tybalt? I like...
Oh, there's Tybalt, and he brought in Rekindling Phoenix, which was very good there.
Did he bring it in, or does he main deck it?
It should be being brought in.
Okay. Same with Chandra? You wouldn't main deck Chandra?
That's what I'm saying. You can do whatever. Like, I've seen it all.
Oh,
I've seen winning lists with all of them, all configurations.
every configuration under the sun.
Well, I mean, there's only X number of configurations. X is finite.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty large X.
Yeah, I mean, X is big.
It's like 32 factorial.
Let's see this. There was never more than 5 of any of the combination of those 3 cards. There was never more than 5 total of those 3 cards
Okay,
in the main deck, so that brings it down a lot.
deal.
All right.
Still an enormous number.
It's still a very large number.
Yes. There's still more combinations than there are people on the earth.
If you only have 5 cards?
Between the main deck and the sideboard, and they could be any of 3 different ones.
Oh, I was talking about the main deck.
Oh.
If we're going to talk about main deck and sideboard, it's like 8. So, yeah. Lots of variables here.
Lots of sweet, sweet variables.
What was the tweet I was reading the article you sent me last night, and in it was somebody tweeted something along the lines of Magic is making generalizations out of data sets that aren't big enough or something. I was like, yeah, that's a fairly accurate representation. So you just kind of proved that. I was making a generalization, and we're making generalizations. But there's no way I could have looked at every list that's won a tournament in the last month.
You could have. If you were dedicated enough, you definitely could have.
You got me.
Here's the thought erasure.
That's fine.
Back in on the play. What do we take here? Chandra? Light up the stage?
Yeah, so the hand's speculative. And so Light Up the Stage is the card that puts you back in the game there. So that's why he took Light Up the Stage. I think he's going to wish he took the Chandra in the long run.
To you.
Yeah, just play this land and say go.
Yeah, we don't want to. We don't want to send it to the dome first.
All right, Tyrant Scorn.
Got him dead.
Here's Hostage Taker off the top of Erik's deck.
Well, that's going to be a good one if he ever gets to 4.
Yeah, if he gets to that 4th land, Thought Erasuring your opponent. Very good with that Daredevil.
Yikes.
All right. So let's see if Luke changes. See, here I would cast the Goblin, the Wizard, Vishina Wizard, and then
Bolt your
perfect.
dude.
Yep, he did exactly the way I would do it.
You might have taken a more passive route if Erik was using his half of the playmat, but it was clearly encroaching, so.
Yeah, nothing like encroachment. All right, so Lava Coil this guy down. Attack for 2. Light up Erik's stage.
I think you're lighting up your own stage.
1, a 2. Pass the turn. Hopefully you hit a land.
Yeah. Definitely want to hit a
Oh,
land here.
jeez. This stupid card. There's no reason for this card to exist.
I know you don't like it.
You want to talk about cards I'm going to complain about? Oketra and this damn thing.
Yeah. Get a 4/4.
Get an amass token. Jeez, old Peters. 4. All right, fantastic. I don't want any of those cards anyway.
None of them are lands.
None of them are lands. I want a mountain.
Show me mountain.
I want one beautiful peaky boy.
There we go. Show me mountain.
Show me a mountain. Negative.
All right, we'll cast this Firebrand.
You're all right. You're all right. don't get too worked up, Luke. Don't see. This is where I tilt. I'm trying to send Luke some good vibes right now. The no tilt vibes.
Oh, it's time to tilt.
You're fine.
It's time to tilt.
Okay, now you can tilt. Here's Soren giving this. So what you're going to do here is you're going to block, and you're going to shoot the Soren before damage. Or just take 4 to the teeth.
Yeah, I think he's just
Yeah.
I think he's past the point of optimal play and it's just like, all right, well, I'm never just going to draw this land, I guess.
All right. We got Soren down for a good chunk there. So I think he can still get in this game if he draws a land, gets the Chandra out, starts rolling through, building up that mana base. Chandra's going to let you cast 2 spells a turn once you get to 4 mana. 5 mana is even better.
Yeah. Erik has the Elder Spell in hand.
Is this the one that removes
Yeah, just kills any number of planeswalkers.
Here's... Yeah. All right. Tilt off. Yeah, we'll just go sideways.
And swing in for 4 lifelink.
Yeah, just take me to the state fair. Put me on the tilt-a-whirl.
Eric's up to 30. This is
untenable.
This is where things go off the rails. Yeah.
Yeah, light of the... All right, there's the mountain.
Yeah, it took him half his deck to get there, but he did get there.
That's annoying.
Listen, that's life, man.
Yeah, that's life. Sometimes you draw that way.
Sometimes you play the most consistent deck and have an inconsistent draw.
Yep. C'est la vie. So let's talk about this weekend. You on this? I know you were high on this Esper Hero list.
Yeah, Esper Hero's sweet.
You also considered the Nexus deck for a minute.
I have like 3 decks that I'm considering and still actively considering.
Okay, so we don't want to discuss.
No, I could discuss. Initial thoughts going into this week were to play Esper Hero, but it seems like Esper Hero is just